So we're on stage 7 of the 10 stages of a criminal trial, and today we're talking about the jury charge conference, which is a very rarely talked about, very mostly overlooked, and yet extremely important part of the trial. So stick around and let's talk about that. Happy Friday, everybody. Hope you're having a great week and gearing up for another awesome weekend. Now, a couple things. First, we're talking about stage 7 today, which is the jury charge conference. But before we get to that, a couple of announcements. Announcement number 1, there's a guy mowing the lawn like right outside my office window. So apologies in advance if you hear that going back and forth. I'm not sure what the timing was that the only 30 minutes I had to record a video this week, the guy's mowing the lawn. So that's cool. So that's announcement 1. Announcement 2 is I need everybody that's watching this to do me a couple really big favors. The first is like this video, and the second is subscribe to this YouTube channel. Both of those things really help me out in terms of making sure that I'm bringing you guys quality information, quality videos that you guys want and are interested to see. The second thing, and this one's even bigger, is I do a live stream every Wednesday night and Sunday night at 7:45 p.m. Texas time. It's over on Twitch is the main place I stream. The link to that Twitch channel is both in the video description if you click more info right below this video, or I'll put it right here. That's the Twitch link. Please go there right now. Take a pause, go there right now, and please give me a follow. I'm trying to grow that Twitch channel. By doing that, you're going to let me keep bringing you this type of information, this type of content, because that's the only way I know that what I'm doing actually matters at all. So let's talk about stage 7, the jury charge conference. First, we have to know what a jury charge is. So most jurisdictions have what are called a jury charge conference, which is done formally in front of the judge. The jury charge is the instructions that the judge gives to the jury. Now remember that juries are just normal everyday citizens that respond to a jury summons. They show up to court, they listen to a case, and then they go render a verdict. The problem is, how do those people with no legal training whatsoever know the intricacies of the law, right? You, as a prosecutor, have to prove not only that somebody committed a crime, but a crime has very specific elements. Think of it like ingredients to baking a cake. You have to prove each of those elements beyond a reasonable doubt. If any of those elements is missing, if any of those ingredients are missing, then the correct verdict is not guilty. So how does a jury know what those elements are? How does a jury know what the definition of reasonable doubt is, right? How does a jury know what they can and can't consider? How do they know what they can look up and what they can't look up, what they can review, what they can't review? All of those things are contained in the jury charge, sometimes called the jury instructions. Those are the instructions that get sent back with the jury while they're deliberating, and they guide them. They're almost like an instruction manual for the jury to follow that show them, here are the elements of this crime. Here are the legal definitions that you need to be aware of. Here are the parameters in which you can consider this evidence or this evidence. They are exceptionally important. And believe me when I say that those jury instructions, the definitions in there, the language in there, is the result of years of litigation and study and case law, all combining to come up with what is a proper jury instruction and what is an improper jury instruction. So that's what a jury charge is. But those jury charges change from case to case, right? As you might imagine, in an assault case, it's very important for a jury to know the definition of assault or what the definition of intentional is. Whereas in a fraud case, the jury would want to know what's the definition of a misrepresentation, what makes a misrepresentation material. Those are important to a fraud jury. The assault definition isn't necessarily important to a fraud jury, and the misrepresentation definition isn't necessarily appropriate for the assault jury. So these instructions change. And so the conference, the jury charge conference, is when the parties, the prosecutor, the defense lawyer, and the judge get together and they discuss what should or should not be included in the jury instructions. Like I said in the intro, this can be incredibly important because this is where, as a defense lawyer, you can argue for certain instructions that you think are going to lead your jury down the path where you want them to go, right? Same thing as a prosecutor. You can ask for and argue for instructions that are going to lead you down the path as a jury that you want to go. A good example of one of those instructions is there's an instruction whenever we try a conspiracy case, okay, that a defense lawyer will typically always argue for, and that's called the mere presence instruction. And what that says is it tells the jury mere presence in the presence of illegal activity. Your mere presence there does not necessarily mean that you're part of the conspiracy. It requires an affirmative agreement between you and one other party. So your mere presence in the location where criminal activity is ongoing does not make you guilty of the offense by itself. That's something that as a defense lawyer is very, very important to us. We want to point that out to a jury. We want to say, look, they showed that my client might have been in that room. They may have shown you that, but mere presence is not enough. You'll have instructions when you go back to the jury room that say mere presence is not enough. You need more, and they didn't bring you more. So that is a good example of like an instruction that as a defense lawyer, I'm always going to argue for. There are similar instructions that a prosecutor is always going to argue for, and we're always going to argue against. So again, it's a portion of the trial that often gets overlooked. You'll hear some lawyers say, I don't care about the jury charge conference. I don't really pay attention to it. Juries are going to do what they're going to do. Couldn't be further from the truth. You have to pay attention to what those instructions are and what instructions the jury is given, because it can make a big difference. Juries will read those instructions. They will follow those instructions. And so it becomes a very important, very contentious sometimes part of the trial. So that's a little bit about jury charge conferences. That's stage 7. Again, just like anything else, I could go on and on, but I'm not going to. Try to make it as succinct as possible. So remember to do those things for me. Like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitch, and then come by on Wednesdays and Sundays. I really want to start building up a following over there, a little bit of an audience. People coming by, let's chat about whether it's this, whether it's the Hunter Biden case, whether it's the Young Thug case, whether it's law in general, law school, criminal law, or just life. I want to have a place where we can all kind of get together and chat throughout the course of the week. Hope this was helpful. Hope this was at least somewhat informational. As always, if you need anything, reach out to me. I look forward to seeing you guys next week. And until then, be good. Stay on the right side of the bars.